Hey everybody, it's Steve. Hey, I'm trying to do a little something different here. I want to start sharing this in different places, so I'll try Twitter to see if I can get some following on there. I've been following. If you're on Twitter and I see something you post or whatever, I pretty much follow, and I repost and I'll follow. So hopefully maybe you'll do the same. I hope so. Anyway, I wanted to comment. I have a current investigation going on in Angelina County. Um, the multitude of corruption and what we're doing to expose it, and what we're doing to follow up and making sure we're getting all the facts and figures and the names that are contributing to this. I'm hoping my volume is okay on this. Like I said, uh, I'm kind of new, so bear with me. Anyway, I got freedom of information requests back from our commissioner's court. What I was asking for is that there's a video, or two videos now, of deaths in Angelina County Jail. Now, this is within a year, almost just right at their year, maybe a year and a month, something. So I've been requesting information on that, and I've been denied um, the video of both incidents. The striking similarities between both arrests and deaths are very similar, and I am requesting all the information from all the authorities, Texas Rangers, local police, county jail, and meeting with a little bit of resistance because they don't want to release these videos. And I think it's apparent for residents of Texas or Southeast County, South Angelina County, to view these videos, see how these deaths occurred, so we ensure that they don't happen again. Now, to follow up today, I actually got freedom of information requests. I got results back from our commissioner's office. I simply asked them for any information that they have on the investigation, a brief from the sheriff, what information was provided to them, um, and they have no information. Now, these are the same people who have just put in for a $16 million extension to the jail. You'd think that they might want to actually disclose these issues and what they knew and when they knew it. And why didn't they know it? Granted, I know the commissioner's court has no authority over the sheriff. However, the fact is that since they are in charge of the funding of our taxpayers to this jail, they are entitled to that information. And the reason why they didn't ask for it, I don't know. Maybe they didn't want to know. That is definitely a possibility. We have witnessed not only this, but also our judicial system, our overcrowding of our jails, deaths in jails, lack of medical care. All these have been documented on this, and the reason why is because I'm trying to get the word out. I think I talked to someone in a different county, and they were confirming what I said is we can't get the information out to people who could do something about it. Basically, Angelina County is basically like a bubble. There's no information out, no information in. Local news media will not cover uh, do any investigative reporting on these incidents, and it's a damn shame because the fact is that we have now entered to the point to where people's lives are being taken away in the county jail. So I don't understand why the lack of transparency. I do not understand why that we have an investigation that went on by the Texas Rangers. Don't get this. His name is James Hicks. He's he's a staple here in our county, in Nacogdoches County. The investigation that he provided did not interview any witnesses, any trustees, any person that may or may not have been in the jail at that time. It all came from a statement by the sheriff who wasn't even there. Wasn't even there. An explanation was also needed because the time of death per the coroner was 11:36. 11:36 in that area was whenever a 911 call was made from the jail for an ambulance. So we can look at 11:36. That's the official time of death per the coroner and per the 911 calls. We put 101 at 101 equals 2 in my book. But it come to find out that when you look at the booking report, that's 12:28. 12:28 that he was booked in. I got a simple question for everybody. How do you book a dead man? There was no photo. There was no information on him. Nothing to actually state that he was in jail, except for the Lufkin Police Department, who actually dropped him off at the jail. And we have eyewitnesses of the trustees that were there that saw him coming to the jail, placed in detox, was restrained, and he passed away. Now, medical personnel, they looked at him. He was arrived at the jail at 9:52. They looked at him at 10:36. Said his blood pressure was high, but it was in range of an intoxicated person. I don't even know what that means. It doesn't tell me what his blood pressure was. It doesn't tell me his breathing. It doesn't tell me how he arrived at the hospital, at the jail, because trustees have actually gone on record and stated that he had a cut on his head, an abrasion that no one mentioned except for the coroner. So basically what we're looking at, this is my opinion. He died at 11:30. They put him in detox for some reason. They decided to put him in restraints. The coroner's report said he was placed in restraints because he had a prior history. And how does the coroner know that? Well, because the sheriff told him to say that. So did Texas Ranger Hicks. So we definitely have got a difference in the time frames that are actually. So we definitely have got a difference in the time frames that are actually being stated on the county jail records, and actually what the coroner's report says. What's the missing link to all this puzzle? Well, the fact is that the investigation conducted by the Texas Rangers, they didn't interview anybody, as I said, except for the sheriff, who wasn't even there. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but between 11:36 and 12:28, a lot of things can happen between that time. And guess what? I think it might be time for these people to get their story together. So it's imperative that a complete investigation be done by the Rangers, because the fact is that if you have a crime scene which was deemed an accident, then you want to interview all people who witnessed it, make sure their stories are the same, make sure that everybody, so you get the chain of events that happened. This is a proper way to conduct any investigation, and that's investigation 101. You preserve the evidence. So it's not done. Now, the kicker to this is that last month, there was another death in Angelina County Jail. Mr. Michael Stolik. He was 46. And the same thing, he was arrested for public intoxication. They put him in detox, didn't book him, and he laid in detox for 2 days, not being booked. 2 days in detox. Records showed that there was no protocol found, that they were checking on him at intervals. But they found him slumped over in the detox cell, and he was in the detox cell, and he was DOA at that time. Lack of medical care. The same verbiage was used on the medical statement. The medical statement said, well, his blood pressure was high, but it was in range of an intoxicated person. Okay, give me some numbers. Let me know when your blood pressure is dangerous. And let me know if you're monitoring blood pressure. I don't know about you, when I go to the VA, they take my blood pressure. If my blood pressure is high, they say, wait 5-10 minutes and we'll take it again. If you're still running a little bit high, they'll wait, take it again, to where they can actually get 3 times. They get a good picture of what my blood pressure is doing. Here you have an individual whose blood pressure is high in the jail, and you don't come back and retest him. You don't come back and follow up. Matter of fact, medical personnel didn't even get to him for 2 days. We're still waiting on the coroner's report, the autopsy report, all the details from our Angelina County Jail, but they're realizing now that they've got a problem. They're realizing now that this problem goes further, because there's actually creating a pattern in the jail that's causing deaths. For that reason alone, we should have the video. I'm a novice at this, and I'm a veteran from the Marine Corps, and I've looked at many after-action reports. I've looked at records of deceased individuals, making sure all that paperwork was with them when they went home, and things of this or whatever. But it's not my forte. It's not my favorite thing to do. But any layman could look at these reports and look at this paperwork and say something's wrong here. And you got the commissioners who don't even have access to the information, didn't even get a report or an investigation provided to them by the sheriff. So nobody knows what actually happened except for the sheriff and the Texas Ranger conducting the investigation. The Texas Ranger is supposed to be an independent third party. They're supposed to be the ones who come in and put another set of eyes on the scene. However, in this case, the Texas Rangers left the investigation up to the sheriff. They're investigating themselves. And they interviewed nobody from the jail. I'm still waiting on the information to come back on the Stolik case. I'm hoping that this video will reach the necessary people who realize that this is something the public needs to be aware of. I have written to Office of Inspector General. I have requested the investigations on both deaths, Smallwood and Stolik. And I'm waiting on those to come back from the Freedom of Information request. Matter of fact, at the end of this week, it'll be 10 days. I'm not really for sure what my next step is. I know that if I don't get that information, then I'm going to file a formal complaint. I'm going to go through whatever means, because I cannot let this rest on my conscience. Because the fact is, if somebody dies, there has to be a reason, and there have to be a chain of events that actually happen to cause this person's death. And we as a public need to see that. Not just folks in Angelina County. Many of you will attest that there's many videos being released now showing deaths in custody, deaths in jails, excessive use of force, all these things in Texas jails, causing deaths, serious bodily harm. 60% of the individuals who are in jail in Texas are mentally ill. They don't even go through a mental health questionnaire or something along these lines. HB 30 was passed in Texas, and it was called, it closed the dead man's loophole. In other words, it took effect on September the 1st of last year. The Smallwood case, they used HB 30 because they used the lack of HB 30 to get away from actually producing the video. Now, since HB 30 has passed, they're required to release the video because it involves death of an individual in jail. I don't know how else to say it, but we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem here. It's not only Angelina County. It is a serious problem within Southeast Texas. Their jail system, and we can even go on through the justice system, which I'll do in a later video. But these issues happen. I have researched these till I'm blue in the face. I keep coming up with the same answer. We need information on it. We need further investigation, and we need to get to the bottom line of what caused this accident. Basically, how did he die? Take me step by step so it makes sense. Like I'm a 3-year-old. I'm a Marine. We write with crayons. We don't write with pens. But if I can even catch it, shouldn't somebody else be catching it too? The Texas Department of Jail Standards. I contacted them. There's nothing they can do. They're responsible for the implication of rules and procedures in the state of Texas on the jail system. There's nothing they can do. The Attorney General stated, well, it's classified because it shows computer screens. Some of the individuals who were trustees were in the jail and that they were actually had access to this area. We don't know who was in there. We don't know who was not. But we do know individuals who were trustees and individuals who were in the jail have stated they were jacking this guy up. And he was in a restraint chair. And they jacked him up and he passed away. Many say, what was the cause of death? Accident. Not homicide, accident. Cause of death, accident. Not homicide, accident. So let's find out how the accident happened. Let's find out so we all can be on the same page and ask the right questions. To get individuals that are our elected officials to do their damn job and inform the people. This is a lack of transparency. Some people believe here in Angelina County that, you know what, transparency means we only release the information we want to release to you, not the whole 9 yards. Total violation of the Freedom of Information Act. Total violation. And yet our commissioners don't even have any records. They have no documentation showing what happened in the jail. Even the commissioners don't know, or they don't want to know. So, like I said, this is my. So, like I said, this is my new to this, and I'm going to be posting this. Hopefully, if you don't like it, maybe you'll share it or whatever, because my goal is to get this information out to the rest of the state of Texas, to the right people who can start asking the right questions, and also make individuals aware of the conditions, not only in our county jail, but conditions in jails across Texas. And I'm sure it's this way across the United States. Remember, these individuals had not been convicted of a crime. They were detainees. They were waiting for their trial. Nowhere does it say, because you have been accused of a crime, you deserve the death penalty. And any individual who contributed to your death in any way, shape, form, or fashion needs to be held accountable. And the standards need to be raised. I'm not talking about a beating. I'm not talking about all the shit the cops get away with. I'm talking about causing deaths, causing conditions that kill people inside the jail. Going back, we just settled in 2022 a lawsuit for $476,000 to a lady named Ms. Hartman. Died of the same thing. She died in jail. We do not know if she contracted pneumonia before or if she contracted pneumonia after she got in. Either way, it doesn't matter, because Ms. Hartman wrote multiple requests to see the doctor. And every guard, we're not going to allow it because she's faking it. Who in the hell died and made you a medical doctor? This is my question. I have many more questions. But I will say this, is if you live in Angelina County or one of these smaller counties, and you run into this type of resistance, and you run into that, you know something's wrong, you know what's wrong, or crooked than a dog's hind leg, and you know it, and you can't sit on it and say, you know what, I know, do this. Go to feds. Go to the feds. Do not waste your time on the county. Do not waste your time on these individuals, because they're all going to circle the wagons. Take it to the file a civil rights lawsuit, and take it to the feds so they can actually look at the information. They can't hide video from the federal government. They can't hide the investigations. They can't hide all this from the federal government. Things that don't seem to be brought to light at the county level. The reason why I say this, because I've been through it. We have to make sure somebody listens. At this point, we know the Attorney General and anyone who issued the opinion that this was confidential information is wrong. Read the law. What does it say? Any person who has knowledge or witnessed or has knowledge of the events that evening and didn't come forward, they're also guilty. They're also guilty. The detainees who were in the jail at that time, they all came out and said, look, they were jacking this guy up. Matter of fact, I have an information from a guy who was getting his hair cut. A trustee walked in to get his hair cut, and he said, man, they jacking that guy up. They're going to kill him. And word spread, because after the death was actually announced, every inmate in there, we knew it was happening. But a damn thing they could do about it. So, I'm not trying to be over dramatic. I'm not trying to get on anybody's nerves. Just asking that we share this information out. We get it out to the public so we can get enough information to make a determination if it's justified.